sweet. There's a man over there sitting in the street. Hey, so what is today about? So yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been here. Just popped in briefly to talk about composites last week, but yeah, the reason is I'm a contract painter and I've just had a lot of work, and so I've gotten in a completely physical groove. Um, but I've been thinking about making a video a lot and really playing every day with the composite. If I add my card, and this was really interesting yesterday because yesterday was the 7 of diamonds, so it was my card. So I added 33 to 33. And that is your relationship with yourself. So that's another really interesting composite to do. So let's see, 33 and 33, 16, which 14, Ace of Clubs. So the composite card for me is the Ace of Clubs. Hi, Rikara. Life just laughing. Yay. Remember to be grateful. I've really gotten in that zone lately and just so deeply appreciative of everything. But anyway, so Rikara, what happens? Hi, Jessica. What happens when you add the King of Hearts to the King of Hearts? You get the King of Clubs. Oh, I'm so glad to know. Yeah, I've deleted a lot of stuff, and then recently everyone's like, get Instagram. You need to get Instagram. So I was like, my husband and I finally did because he's selling stuff on it. And anyway, so yes, that's a very interesting thing to do. And it also, of course, is going to elucidate the feeling that you get when you're with somebody. You know, people are like, oh, what's the same birth card composite relationship? Well, obviously it's unique to everybody because your card plus your card is going to be a totally different card. But that Ace of Clubs really does sum me up because I've got the capacity to be a little narcissistic, but it's, you know, I'm always on a trek to understand myself. So, you know, directed in a positive direction, that's really resulted in a lot of growth for me, which is my genius card, the King of Hearts, the emotional maturity card. That's kind of my focus. That's how I evaluate everyone I know. And I've recently become aware of that. And I'm like, I got to lighten up on that. There are things other than self-knowledge. Not really, but maybe. Claudio, hi. So what shall we talk about? Let's take the ascending hand of today's card. Feel free to ask questions about anything. And I've got a little deck of cards around here somewhere. I can always just throw cards for everybody. Anyway, so today is the 6 of diamonds. So if we take the ascending solar spread, the 6 of diamonds occupies, oh wait, my guides are chiming in. They're like, just take the ascending of the traditional grand solar spread. So we have 6 of diamonds here. So the moon card would be the sanity card, the 4 of clubs, or 4 of spades rather. It's the security card. So if we can really move that down into our lower chakras and really feel grounded. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's really fun. I've been doing a lot of composite cosmic connection reports lately, and that's so much fun. It's you go on my site and it shows you how to text me, and you just send me your birthdays and your email address, and then I go to town. So anyway, yeah, that's $45. I don't know if I already said that, but okay. So the 6 of diamonds, really grounding down, maybe some earthing would be a really good idea. Oh, Claudio, 8 of clubs. So you would be the ascending Mercury card of the 6 of diamonds. So it's a very, very dynamic vibration, that 8 of clubs, as you well know, Claudio. Very strange life, right? Like, what did I come here for again? Oh my God. So let's see, 6 of diamonds, Jupiter, Mercury, see the possibilities. It's kind of an optimist card. It's a willingness to expand, to get everybody on board with something. And when you're seated in that really grounded, safe space within yourself, it's a very emotionally intuitive card in that position too. So we can really feel our way through the day. That Eight of Clubs can just bring an explosion of insights and, yeah, new perspectives, a little access to the Akash, perhaps. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Oh, your first time hearing of this, but I found out I think my birth is the Three of Spades. Oh, yeah. Um, Three of Spades is the actuator card. It's also the artist card. All threes are a card of expression. If you want to give me your birthday, then we can confirm that's what your card is, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. Oh, a medical mystic. That's really cool because, yes, it's potentially a very highly intuitive card. Um, So, Eight of Clubs, access to the Akash today, and then the Jack of Spades in Venus is asking us to do ordinary things in a new way, to kind of turn it inside out. 3, 7. Yes, I do believe that's the Three of Spades. Yep, it is. Let's see, which makes you a Pisces, which makes ascending. Now, this is going to be really interesting for you. So, the descending, what you'll read about is how the Seven of Spades is your planetary ruler. It's a very strong, confident, happy seven. It does tend to be sort of self-righteous and in its when it's in its ego about this is how we have to do things. But the Three of Spades just has a real sharing energy, and so it tends to be a little more gracious with that. And then that Seven of Spades feels more like a mission. It's a high priest vibration. Um, Email. What's good, Paula? Are you just giving me a green? Well, everything's good. Okay, the ascending. So this is my download that I got a few months ago that I'm really diving into, is that you go to the left and up, which would make the 10 of diamonds your planetary ruling card. Now that in the ascension grand solar spread occupies the pinnacle position, which means it is a tremendous potential for leadership, for seeing the big picture, for delegating, seeing where everybody fits. And it's a very abundant, very powerful card. And it will also make you feel like everybody wants something from you. Three of Spades and 10 of Diamonds are both extraordinarily competent and capable. Yeah, it's a whole new world with its own terminology. But if you know astrology, Enneagram, numerology, you got a leg up. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's continue with today. So just try adding the Six of Diamonds to your card. So that would be 32. 32 feels like we're playing bingo. 32 plus your card, and then subtract 52 if you need to, and that's your composite. And that will be kind of a dynamic for you personally today. So, Eight of Clubs, access to the Akash today, Jack of Spades. It's also potentially an initiation, an initiatory experience within relationship or friendship where something new shows up, or possibly there's some deception and discernment is needed. Okay, and then the Two of Diamonds for, oh, I got a little bite here the other day. I'm going to try putting some salt on it. I'm just trying everything. Eucalyptus works pretty good. I bet mentholatum would work. Ooh, talk about rubbing salt into a wound. But it's like a good scratch. Anyway, so the Two of Diamonds in Mars means that we have a passionate drive to hook up and align with somebody with whom we have shared values. We want the same things, we value the same things. So moving forward with a shared, my guides are saying, identity. Okay, Four of Clubs, the Sanity card. Yay! Okay, we can rejoice when this card comes up, but it's also a calling to take an experience of confusion or mental instability, and your world gets shaken up a little bit, thanks to that Jack of Spades, maybe. to create a sense of security within yourself. And it's also to use your words and your grounded perspective, what you're very clear about. Because the ascending hand is what we give to the world and how we share. So we've got that potential to really bless and expand other people with our common sense, our calming, our grounding. And don't you find that's just so important? And I find personally that it what because I've been really, really plugged in. Banana boat green gel keeps. Oh, thank you. I'll have to try that. That sounds cooling and luscious. Because we're going through such like really bizarre times, a lot of people have really gotten the memo and taken it to heart to really own their vibration and to tune into themselves, to tune into their spiritual resource. And man alive, I'm telling you, it's like God saw this big wave coming and he just said, I'm going to put a spiritual protection over you. And I have been waking up every morning at 5:30 in the morning, which is so not me ever in history, and communing with Yogananda. It's just been this amazing thing. And I feel like I've been able to, except for this one day, really stay away from anything that would bring me down. And I was able to just keep choosing things that raised my vibration, including just, music and dancing around the house and, what do I feel like doing? And any meditative practice. I think that Four of Clubs really does speak to that a meditative practice today could be very positive and impel us towards deepening. Oh, Florida. Yeah, tell me where you all are. That's something I never do, to just say, hey, give me a shout out from where you are. It's always so fun to know. And then we can ask, like, hey, how is it in your neck of the woods? Okay, so the Six of Hearts. And I, as usual, failed to talk about the Six of Diamonds today. So six is about smooth planning, things kind of going as we expect them to go. There's a sense of ease. There may be a calling to purpose. And that Six of Hearts ascending Saturn is a call to mastery with the Six of Hearts. And I recently got some major downloads on that card that the Mars intersection is about that six being very passionate and action driven for something. So this is the engine that's like, okay, get up and get going, move forward with something. And I personally am feeling kind of sluggish the last few days, and this really hits home. Nothing that I've said so far resonates with me as far as, oh, this is today. I'm like, not feeling it, not feeling it. But this I'm feeling. This Six of Hearts is really encouraging us to actually move forward, take action with something. And they're showing me that it's going to be a really heart-centered thing, a desire-centered thing. Heart, Six of Hearts, something that is nurturing to ourselves and others. So, okay, the King of Diamonds, the Ascending Genius card, or legacy, or what we're leaving to others, what we're passing on, and also what's bringing us together. And this to me is really, really encouraging when I tune into it. The King of Diamonds is a card of ultimate integrity. And the feeling around it is really that people are coming together with shared values. It's been so horribly divisive, it's much more difficult for some than others. And as so much new information is coming to light, we have to integrate it and like, oh my God, how do I deal with learning this about that person and this has been going on. But it's kind of caused us all to find some clarity around what's really important. And I've nicknamed it the cheerleader card. So the King of Diamonds is really about uplifting everybody, adding some cheer and buoyancy and joy and hope. And I really have been able to do that with my friends lately. And Yeah, there's a take your pick. There's a lot of shit to pay attention to out there, but because of that spiritual groundedness I've had recently, which I just consider grace, I'm like, where did that come from? Why me? But I'll take it. Okay, so the King of Hearts is a Neptune vibration today, which is my ideal self. I think it all depends on the reader, Amber. I think tarot cards are an amazing tool. And according to the Mystic Test Book and Robert Camp, this system was the origin of the tarot. And the Fool card, the Joker, is the first of the, what do you call those, trump cards or whatever? Um, But anyway, yeah, it all depends on the reader and the how hooked up you are to your guidance, because I mean, one time I looked at the 9 of clubs and said guitar, and I was like, where did that come from? So I think it's how well do you read that subtle vibration that's wanting to come through? And that's what any divinatory system it does, is it's a reflection. Even like if you see an eagle, nature itself is reflecting your vibration to you, that, oh, I'm aligned with spirit and I'm taking a bigger view of everything. And which I did. I saw a little baby eagle today. I was like, oh, I needed that. Okay, so yeah, and I was looking at a prospective property, and it just allowed me to just be like, yes, I surrender, I trust. So the King of Hearts, this ideal self is, very, very bad. Um, this is very disgusting. Um, I'm sorry if you guys are having to look at that report. Yeah, I'm gonna report that. Maybe they're tripping, huh? Yeah, sorry about all that. I wish that I could. Okay, it just says that you can't see it anymore. I still can. Yeah. So maybe we're really onto something right now. And that's why the darkness attacked, because yeah, we're holding a high vibration. So this idealized version of the self, the ideal self, the King of Hearts, is to be gracious and mature. And yeah, isn't that disturbing? Well, we're getting to know a lot more about bots, aren't we? That there's just, it's just this automated process. And, when you're hitting home, the darkness doesn't like it and they just, throw shit in there. But anyway, we're overcoming today. And the King of Hearts is about being gracious. I doubt that that's even a person. So anyway, the being gracious, taking a bigger view. Okay, so Pluto, ascending Pluto, the call to transform is through intimate relationship. And hello, Denise. The Two of Hearts, it's union within the self. It's the quality of intimacy. It can be divine oneness with the partner, with the child, with the friend, or most importantly, within yourself. So, yeah, really, really deep listening. We've got a lot of intuitive helpers with our card spread today to really help us deepen into a connection with self. Okay, and then a couple of nines for Jupiter plus and Saturn plus. So the death of something or graduation, the end of an old perspective, really kind of breaking through into something fresh and new and different. And they're saying this might come later in the day. Yeah, and then Jack of Hearts. This is the cosmic moon, which is a beautiful vibration today to really support us spiritually and just welcome that divine love deep into that secret place in your heart. And then that 5 of spades, the transformed self. It's interesting about the 6 of diamonds. There is a 5 of hearts descending Pluto, and within a like 12-hour period, I had 2 6 of diamonds say the same exact thing to me. They said, sometimes I want to get in a car and drive away, because that 6 of diamonds represents duty and responsibility. and they long for freedom. How do they find that freedom? That's the question. Are you gonna do it consciously, or are you gonna kind of leak, and is your ego gonna create some kind of freedom, like steal it somehow? Well, this transformed self, this challenge of transformation is to realize that you are free always and to really deepen in presence. The 5 of spades, my guides told me one day, they're like, sit down, we're going to tell you what the 5 of spades is. And they said it's presence, the ability to just be really, really present and still and like listening with all of your senses to everything. Reka. Yeah, in self. My husband is a 3 of clubs. My husband's a 3 of clubs. One of his best friends is the 6 of diamonds. His sister, who is also my best friend, is the 6 of diamonds, and today is his birthday. Yeah, it is. It's very inclusive. It's a very holistic kind of system, but it kind of depends on your background and what you bring to it. And a lot of people bring a lot of, tools. Yes, it has to find freedom within itself. And happy birthday to that 6 of diamonds today. So, where are we? We're June, so he's a Gemini. So, his planetary ruler is both the 8 of clubs, that's ascending, and the 4 of spades. I'm getting that he's just like, he's sitting in this security of self today. And I just have to say the ascension, the ascending cardology method that I've been studying for really the last couple of years, but most intensively the last couple of months, it answers a lot of questions that the other system doesn't. I mean, to just have one spread or just that and the pure spread sometimes is really limiting. And what I've noticed is that it doesn't speak to the achievement or the accomplishment of somebody who is really, like a life coach that I know, an 8 of clubs. I think I remember doing a reading for her at one point, and then I was able to flip it and go, oh, that 6 of spades is her messenger to the world. It's her Mercury. Or like when you meet somebody who's just, or even within yourself, you're like, damn, I'm really good at such and such. I've really achieved such and such. And you look at one of the ascending spreads and it's like, oh, I began working on that when I was 12 years old, and you get this sense of reinforcement that you've really been answering to a calling that you gave yourself to achieve something, to learn something. So I really, really encourage you. So here's the tutorial. Just go to the right and up, not the left and down. This system has hermetic principles, which is about reversals, backward, forward, forward, backward. So we used to go backward to look forward. We can go forward to look backward. It's like when you go to the left, you're going forward, but you're looking into your past. And then when you go to the right, it's like you're going backward, but you're moving forward in your life and your evolution. So yes, please feel free to ask questions about anybody or anything. Now this is a very powerful thing that I did a couple of weeks ago, and it actually prompted me to take an action which resulted in an almost win. We're looking for a place right now, and we came this close. And that day was the 3 of clubs. It was May 29th, and it happened to be our 11-year anniversary. And since my husband's the 3 of clubs, the 10 of spades, it was my personal composite card, but it was also the composite card of our relationship. It was my personal composite for that day. So what I was guided to do was to actually take the pure spread where it's all in order. So for those of you just joining, there are 2 spreads. This is the hide user on this channel. Sorry, it's popping up again. Do, 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 do. I know, right? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Did I get this one yet? No. So your planetary ruler card would also change with the ascendant card. Yeah, very good. And as I've studied it, I've seen that going to the right and up, the ascending card does tend to be more about evolving into deepening within the self, but it also seems to be more of like giving. So technically, the solar energy, which is radiant and it goes out into the world, would be exemplified by the ascendant. And the descendant, we could just call it more moon. Like we say, think of the moon as behind us. It's the card behind you, which means it's hidden, it's within you. So to go to the left and the left is really to go within. What is the Three of Clubs difficulty in life? What's holding them back? I love that question. It makes me really excited, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, I don't think I deleted this comment. Why is this remove? I don't know why it's not removing. Okay, so what's holding them back is there's a lot of self-doubt, especially if it's a man. And that is because each suit represents a phase of life. Hearts represent childhood, clubs represent um, adolescence. And so all club males, a little more than the females, because this Jack of Clubs has the Queen of Spades right next to it. So female clubs tend to really resonate with that energy, or with the Queen of Clubs, which is super responsible, or the King of Clubs, which can even be arrogant in its confidence. But club males tend to identify with that Jack, and they have to pass through what I call in their internal work. Um, yes, they do way more. That's a excellent observation, Reka, because the if you look at the pips, this is part of the esoteric teaching of symbology. All of the odd numbered cards have a dot in the middle, which represents internal work. And the even cards, it's more like they're building structures. They're more practical. And since women tend to be more internally oriented anyway, odd numbered females can kind of balance both worlds. I mean, we've had to for, eons, but we tend to look within anyway. So we're comfortable with that territory, whereas men are not really given permission to do that. So odd numbered men, when they really figure that out and they get that, they become entrained to looking at the inner child, to identifying feelings, maybe being mentored by another man, a wise man who has done this work, or who's coming out of addictions or trauma. Finally digging down, they become tremendously insightful and helpful. And even if they might not talk about it, they are that transformation in the world, which is really exciting. And club males tend to draw in diamond females because there's a Pluto connection here. The Queen of Diamonds and the Jack of Clubs are Pluto to each other. So there's this transformation that happens when they come together equally. So he can be the thorn in her side, but he can also be trying to get her to lighten up. And she'll be the thorn in his side, but she's calling him to grow up. So anyway, the Three of Clubs, let's talk a little bit more about it. So anybody in the Saturn line most likely will have severe dysfunctions in their family, potentially a parent who is, oh, and I didn't even say self-doubt, going from the Jack to the King. And the 9, the 7, and the 2, this is I'm worthless. The 7 of Spades is there's only obstacles. My husband is like that. I got to call him out sometimes and say, can you say something positive? Because you're really bringing me down. And then he'll shift, but it's taken a long time for him to be able to do that. And the 7 of Spades, yeah, obstacles to call to faith. The 2 of Clubs is the fighting in Mars. It's a 2 of Clubs in Mars is the love of an argument. Ugh. God, and you can't win with them. You can't win because they've got this King of Clubs and Jupiter that's just like, it's just, but when they grow up a little, then they begin to realize this 2 of Clubs is the negativity within themselves, the tendency to beat themselves up and be really self-critical. And so when they learn self-kindness, these are all, tools for self-mastery. Okay, so the 3 of clubs, anybody in this Saturn line, this 7 of clubs here, Mercury, Venus, Mars, possibly the father or the man or men in their life will be, and this is true of my husband, diagnosable. Like, I consider his brother to be a sociopath. He's a functioning sociopath, but just like no conscience. In fact, Stuart used to call him, I am his conscience. That's my role in life. The 9 of hearts can be an indication that the mother, because it's in Venus, is absent. The 5 of hearts is interesting because it's about this independence of heart. They have this really powerful independent streak, and the way it manifests, the way it can manifest is stealing freedom. I can't get permission from anyone to take time for me. They tend to be tremendous caretakers, taking care of other people's feelings a lot more than tuning into their own. And so there's a constant leaving of the self. But when they get totally tapped out, they might, resort to an addiction or just take off. My husband used to just take off for a few days. And it took me a couple of years to say, hey, I want you to have the freedom. Just tell me. Just tell me, that's all. Your love interest is a 5 of hearts. He's so sweet. Okay. Yes, so you guys are Venus to each other. Isn't that lovely? So that 5 of hearts can grow into a deep presence within the self, and then it can also become a very comforting voice that reaches into people. Stuart's favorite question to ask strangers especially is, what's your passion? The 5 of hearts is like, what do you really want? The 5 of hearts is, they're curious. The heart makes them childlike. The sense of freedom about them, they can be a little childish sometimes, but they tend to be very original. They tend to be really strong, actually. And they're living in the house of the 4 of diamonds. So in the corresponding spread over here, this Saturn-Venus connection is the 4 of diamonds. And that can be a card of stability. If they're reaching down, they're learning the lesson of stability and clarity about what's important to them. So I'm happy for you, Amber. That's so nice. Pretty good, pretty nice. Pretty good, pretty nice. Hello, chicken nugget. That's from TikTok. I visit TikTok almost once a day just so I can see that guy who does Rockstar and he does voiceovers for animals. Oh my God. So lighthearted and wonderful. So anyway, that's about all I got for today. If you're interested in reading more about your card, go to my website, which is in the description below. Yeah, isn't it just crazy accurate? I think it's the fabric of the universe. And since you're new to the system, Amber, go into YouTube and type in Robert Camp, the magical destiny cards or something like that. And he made 2 brief videos explaining kind of the magic of the cards, the numerical correlations to time. Oh, but yeah, if you want to read more about your card, go to my site. It is kismet.com, which is in the description below. And you can order just a basic report for about $14, or you can get a kit, and do that now because I am about to raise the prices on the kits. I'm only charging $33 and it's a ton of information. So yeah, that's going to go up. I'm thinking of charging, 55 to 60 for that because it includes the report, which is worth 15 in itself. But anyway, so questions. Why does the 3 of spades, what does it do as Mercury for the 3 of clubs? What's in the kit is it talks about the karma cards on either side of it and how those are influences. It has all 3 of the court cards analysis, like the king, jack, and queen of your suit. It's got, this is my favorite part. It's called the player's guide. This in itself is worth a lot. I had so much fun writing this up because what it is, okay, here's you, here's your vibration, here's how other people experience you, here's how you experience yourself. And these are some really good questions to ask yourself. So I did it for 52 different cards, custom made questions for personal contemplation. And I'd achieved a lot of insight up till that point, but I'm continuing to gain insight. So there's some things I should probably go in there and add to, um, but yeah, it's really fun, and I think it would be an extremely helpful, user-friendly tool for life coaches to say, here's a kit, and then it can be a jumping off point to really look into, what is it like to be me? You know, this system does have the potential to have the levels of complexity that astrology does, or even human design, which I love to death. Human design, it's so amazing. It's really amazing. Um, I'm not called to master that because I'm doing this time around. So yeah, go check out your kits. On sale for $33. Um, so the three of clubs, the three of spades, let's talk about that. That's a great question, Denise. As the Mercury of the three of clubs, it allows them, and this is a totally intuitive hit, but when I think about Stuart and I think about other people, if it's guided by their caretaking ability, well, it might not have the best motives, but they are so intuitively capable of this. They step into the shoes of another person. They're able to mentally transplant themselves into someone else's life, and they can lose themselves in that. One time, my husband tuned into a guy that was giving us shelter for about a month. We were between locations, and this guy is like massively Asperger's, and Stuart just simply tuned into the suffering of this guy and what it's like to be him. And he came outside. We were going for a walk. It was at night, beautiful June evening, and Stuart just collapsed in tears, sobbing violently. And I'm like, "What happened?" And he goes, "Wayne, Wayne, I can feel his pain." I didn't mean for that to rhyme. It also is a call to action. Three of clubs seem to want to fix everybody. They're troubleshooters. They're brilliant. JFK was the three of clubs. They're incredibly versatile in their thinking, and they have the capacity to troubleshoot and see all kinds of stuff. Let's see, where do they sit in the pure spread? They sit in Mars, Venus, which makes them, the Mars is let's do something. The Venus is I love people. And they do. People, that's the five of hearts moon. They're just like, oh, people are a buffet. They love them. The three of spades is, well, what are we going to do about it? I saw this really great meme one time. This woman had a nail in her head, or maybe it was I think it was a BuzzFeed was doing those really hilarious videos years ago before things got political, and it was like the difference between men and women. And this woman had a nail sticking out of her head. No, not really, but she was like, I just don't know what's wrong. I have a headache. I can't figure it out. And he's like, well, we could take the nail out of your head, but I just don't know how I feel about that. You've got a nail in your head. Let's take it out. It's like that pragmatic, let's do something. And that comes from two things. The three of spades is a spade, which is action. Baby girl, hello. Action manifesting into the physical, which really is the essence of the three of spades, expression into the physical. So they're like handymen, they can make stuff. When that three of spades becomes the ascending moon card, it's really finding their center and their peace, their happy place in the act of creating or actuating. So, yeah, I hope that answers some questions. Baby girl, what's your birthday? I'm so glad to see you, and I just love that you just got a big pink dot. So yeah, tell us your birthday and we can tell you about your card, because we've got some other card aficionados in here. And hello everybody, 10/21, that's 2 days after my husband's birthday. Ace of clubs. You're welcome, Denise. This is really fun, isn't it? I really missed this. Okay, so 10/21 Ace of clubs, that was my composite card for yesterday. So the Ace of clubs, and my guides are calling me to look at the Ascension solar spread for you. So Ace of clubs See, and here's a conundrum I haven't solved. Does it sit here or here? Because it's a fixed pair. The two of clubs or the two of hearts and the ace of clubs are two sides of the same coin. So the ace of clubs represents the, like a Buddhist frame of mind, oneness with the infinite, whereas the two of hearts is relationship with the infinite or with another. It's a quality of, it's a path to intimacy and like knowing, deep knowing. Ace of clubs themselves tend to be kind of a little lonely growing up, kind of feeling solitary. There's always a calling for them to be an individual, to figure out who they are, to be okay with going it alone. And that can just really suck. It can be really hard. And a female ace of clubs has the queen of clubs as her Mercury card or ascending moon. So that really is it's a very powerful card, a very nurturing card. Can also be kind of manipulative. But anyway, I just realized I'm hungry. So I think I'm going to go now, but I'll give you a minute to just like say, oh, is it your niece's birthday? Yeah. So if you want to learn more, go to my website linked below. Queenie, hello. How are you doing? So yeah, so it's always so hard to depart because there's this 8-second delay, and I feel like I want closure and like to say goodbye and thank you to everybody, and then yep, good. I'm glad you're good. So you're so welcome, baby girl. They were saying one more thing. They wanted me to tell you about the intersection of Neptune and Venus. Ooh, that's a luscious intersection, isn't it? Neptune is about, you bought my book? I'm so glad. You can get it on Amazon. It's 13 bucks, and it will always be 13 bucks, I promise. Venus is love and relationship, and Neptune is what we dream about or idealize or project our fantasies on. So the projecting fantasy of love, of course, is the two of hearts. That's why it's called the love affair, the dreamy love affair card. So I am one to praise the virtues of you're welcome, Amber, to praise the virtues of dreaming, projecting, imagining, because it is a divine capacity that we have as creators to imagine. What a great note to end on. Imagine the possibilities. Let yourself go into la la land and what if in the positive. And then you're going to be creating from that space if you're holding that vibration. So, yeah, think about that. I know, isn't it fun? It's just always unfolding from within. Okay, so have a really great day, and hopefully I will see you soon.